Alright, let's take a look at the silence control deck. So for our start here, this is mostly a good hand. Shield of the Damned is good for longevity, kind of keeping us in the game as we build towards our late game stuff. Same for Bloodspawn and Drain. Burden of Knowledge is good. Draw power. Embrace the Silence we don't want till much later in the game. So we'll throw that back and, and draw two of them. Alright, so Shield of the Damned, at the end of our turn, will deal 2 damage to an opposing creature. Lifesteal damage, so we gain some life too. But if they have no creatures, we have to destroy it at the end of our turn. So we don't want to play that on turn 1. So we'll just pass. Let's see, they're Abyssal, so we kind of expect to see Sethonian Betrayer. Yep, an enabler to start getting stuff in their graveyard. That's fine. I guess we'll kind of help them with that. We'll go ahead and get the shield down, just to keep their board clear and keep ourselves healthy. We're at 20, so we're not going to gain any life off of it, but if it stays on the board and they start doing damage to us, then we'll be able to start recouping that for free, which is nice. Let's just get a Bloodspawn down, have some board. Let the shield take care of their creature. Okay, they played Plague Cultist, so we can drain that away. I think we can... should be able to draw first. So we pay a little bit of life, and then we'll drain. Get rid of their guy. And then we'll swing. Alright, so pretty good early start. We've got a lot of really good control tools. We've already found one of the horsemen. So we've got some of our late game. We lost our shield, but we have another one, so we're not too worried about it. Yeah, so I think we want to Blood Siphon here, so we can continue getting the life advantage over them, and then we'll do another shield, and we'll just let the shield clean up some of their stuff. We were hoping that would hit the 3-1, but the 1-1's not bad. Okay, AoE is fine. That still leaves us a target for the shield. If nothing else, yeah, we can get this Shadow Puppet down, force them to discard, start removing resources from them. And then because we drew the gold, we're 1 turn away from getting the Horseman down, which historically is pretty hard to deal with. Now they run some single target removal. They have Deep One Swarm, which lets them destroy an opposing creature of their choice. So the first horseman or 2 may get taken out, but that's okay. Alright, we'll take care of this guy. We'll make them discard a card, which is good. Ooh, we drew another horseman. That's really good. War is extremely powerful. We'll use the gold now, though. If this sticks, that's really strong. And if they have a Deep One Swarm, then we're getting some of their single target removal out of them prior to playing War. We did lose our shield, which is kind of tough. Oh, not single target removal, but it'll do the job. It's okay. Yeah, we can Shadow Mage and then Embrace the Silence to gain the life back. So Embrace the Silence means that the game now doesn't end when sanity hits 0. So we're playing until one of us loses their full life total. It's okay. Historically, we've got a pretty solid late game. Okay, that's great. They use their Deep One Swarm there. They have more of them, but that may open the door for us to play War, which would be really good. Oh, or another Death. That's even better, I think. So we'll get Death down. If they have any more AoE, hopefully they will use it here. Here with Death, and then we can get War down. And he just kind of snowballs out of control pretty quickly. Okay, there's their Cthulhu. So we knew that was coming, but we had a 9/9 on board, so it only did 1. Oh, if they have another Cthulhu is my only concern. then we would lose war. I think we play it slow. We're gonna Shadow Fiend here. They have another Cthulhu, it'll destroy this. We'll take some damage, but it'll give us a blocker for that one. And that'll be 2 Cthulhus out. Okay, so that's 2 Cthulhus out. I actually need to look at their graveyard and see if they have a third one still coming. Okay, so this will make them discard. So 2 Cthulhus, but we have plenty of life gain, so I'm not really worried about that. We need to get rid of those, though. 12 would do 6 damage to each. Okay, do they have... Okay, the third Cthulhu is already gone, so we're okay there. I guess war is the right play here. They're kind of out of late game, and we still have plenty more we can draw into. We'll gain some life back. This guy will summon somebody for us. Okay, so that should be most of their threats. War's going to give us another blocker. Okay, the single target removal is tough there. We're going to take some more damage. That's okay. I think we can double Congregation. They're almost out of cards. Okay, so we can get through this onslaught. I think we're okay. Block here. Take 10. We can gain 6 back and wipe everything on the board except one of those Cthulhus with the double Congregation. Ooh, and then we have a war follow-up. I think that's the play. Right, so this gains us a lot of life. Yeah, this puts us back up to full. We remove 1 Cthulhu, they've got 1 more. But I think they're pretty much out of options. So next turn we can play War. He'll summon a 5/5 that can kill this on block. Yeah, they're out of stuff. So, okay, so this is a good example of kind of the attrition nature of this deck. We basically ran them out of resources, whereas we still have plenty, right? We still got some of our strong late game cards. So now we can just kind of seal the deal. Okay, so they'll probably swing with a Cthulhu. Yeah, we can block with any of these, right? We'll block here. And then we can swing for 15. At the end of our next turn, we will summon another Bloodsucker from War. The Bloodsucker is going to gain us life back. I don't think there's any need to play that Shadow Puppet. I believe this game is over. So that's a good example of kind of the goal of this deck, right? We control the early to mid game. We try to run them out of resources and just kind of hold on with a bunch of lifesteal. And then in the end, we save our bombs after the opponent has used all of theirs. And we win. Okay, let's upgrade a card. Alright, so upgraded Embrace gains us 8 life. I think we want to go upgraded Shadow Mage, because that removes the you have to pay life. And it's just a 4 mana, 4 AoE. It's very strong. So we'll run with that. Alright, so let's take a look at the deck we used. So for our early game, I guess that's more of a late game card. We have Shadow Puppet. It's great anytime in the first handful of turns. It's a 1 cost. Stats aren't really anything impressive, but when he dies, your opponent has to discard a card. So that's how we get the ball rolling on running them out of resources. Bloodspawn, 2 mana, 4/2. This is kind of our answer to Intimidate. So if we run into like a spider deck, we need something early that can block them while we're trying to draw into some of our removal. Shield of the Damned is actually a 3 cost curse initially, but we've upgraded it, bringing it down to 1. And this is our early to mid game stabilizer. All right, so we play this down, and as long as the opponent keeps playing creatures, at the end of each turn, we'll get to clean up their board a little bit and gain some life. This is another upgrade we ran. Drain, it's originally 3 cost. The upgraded version's 2 cost, and it's just deal 3 lifesteal damage to an opposing creature. So again, early to mid game, 3 damage can clean up a lot of creatures in the game, and you get 3 life back, which is really strong. Shadow Fiend is another answer to Intimidate, and when he dies, you get a Shadow Puppet, so that also gives you more ability to remove cards from their hand, start running them out of resources. That's kind of our early game control, stability package. We also run Shadow Mage, which allows us to deal 4 damage to all creatures, so there's our AoE. Congregation of the Damned is another form of AoE. It's a little more expensive, but it's only opposing creatures and it's lifesteal damage, so you gain a whole bunch of life back. We have Card Draw in Burden of Knowledge. This is another one that we want to upgrade if given the option, because it removes the pay 2 life tag, so it's just 2 mana, draw 2 cards, which is really powerful. Blood Siphon is a good stabilizing tool. So, at the start of each of our turns, we deal 2 lifesteal damage to the opponent. If we get, say, 2 of these down and the opponent doesn't have a good way to clear them having 4 health makes them a little harder to remove, then we can, clear or quickly lower their life total while we raise ours back up. And then if it looks like it's a game that's going to go long, you want to wait till Brink of Madness, ideally, to play Embrace the Silence. So then the game won't end when sanity hits 0, which allows you to take all the time you need to run them out of resources. And then you'll gain 5 life. The upgraded version, you gain 8 life. But yeah, so that's a good late game, set up your attrition capability, right? And gain some life back to keep you in the game. And then for our closing, I went with Death and War for the 2 horsemen. So Death is 9 cost, end of turn, destroy a random creature. War is 10 cost, end of turn, summon a 5/5 Bloodsucker with lifesteal. These are very powerful. There's other options. There's 4 horsemen. So the other 2 that you can run are Conquest. End of turn, your opponent discards a random card. And Famine, end of turn, deal 5 lifesteal damage to your opponent. All 4 are extremely powerful. Which ones you choose to use, whether you run 1 copy of each, run 2 copies of each, it all comes down to just the deck building. There's just not enough room to run 3 copies of each and still have a strong enough control package to keep you in for the late game. But I'm not convinced that this is the ideal, like these 4 are what you need to run either. It's definitely an area for a lot of experimentation, but that's the build I'm currently running and seeing a bunch of success with.